Hi guys, welcome back to Living Environment. I missed you so much. It's new and improved. Oops, where's my new and improved? There it is. It's new and improved again. Before anything else, just tell me what you did during spring break. Maybe you napped all day every day. Maybe you cleaned your whole house because your parents told you had to. Whatever. Just tell me what you did. Okay, so big announcement. There are 9 weeks left of school, and you're already partway through the first one. So there's basically 8 weeks left of school. Why is this important? Because we're like almost at the end of the year, and there are no Regents exams this year. So that means that the grade that you get at the end of this trimester is going to be really important for whether or not you pass living environment. So pretty much if you pass the class, then you automatically get credit for taking the Regents. It's like automatically you win Regents. Whoop, whoop. Okay. So if you've been cruising through living environment, you've been killing it, you've been passing things, then awesome. Just keep doing your thing, crush the next few weeks. But I do want to remind you guys that trimester 3 is weighted more heavily. It's like more important than past trimesters. So this chunk of work that we do for the next 9 weeks is going to have a really big impact on your grade. So you want to pass the class because if you pass the class, you automatically get credit for the Regents. So there's no failing the Regents this year. So if you are like worried about the like, am I gonna pass? Am I doing okay? Blah, blah, blah. All of those things, which are totally real, just send me an email, today, later on, to check in on your grade and make sure you're in a good place. Okay? Let's do this. Let's get started. So, oh yeah, here's just a reminder. You can do it. You guys are awesome. Okay. For the rest of the year, we only have 9 weeks. So that's 18 lessons. 18 lessons, my friends, is like 3 weeks of school. So that's like nothing, okay? What are we going to study with those 3 weeks basically that we have is diseases. You might be sensing a pattern here. We're going to keep it current. We're going to keep going with what do we need to know about the coronavirus? How does our body respond to the coronavirus? And I really wanted to study this because, one, I think it's super important to understand what's going on in current events. And two, because at a time when things can feel like scary or like annoying or whatever, it's helpful to learn the science because then I can be like empowered and make good decisions about how I go about my life. Okay, so that's what's going on. We're going to study this stuff. It's also really important if you want to take like AP biology later, or if you're interested in being like a doctor or like a forensic person or a detective or like a nurse or an epidemiologist or even a social worker or like a biology teacher or a veterinarian. I don't know. I can think of like a million things. A psychologist. All of you people would need to know about things about like how our bodies work and how our immune systems work. So we're going to study that. Okay. Today, we can start the lesson now. We are going to look at pandemics throughout history. And in particular, we're going to look at like the kind of artifacts and things that we have seen from these past pandemics, because it tells us a lot about like what society was like while that was happening. So here's what I would like you to do. Please pause the video and go to Google Classroom and go ahead and open up this document called COVID-19, A Moment in History. So this document has everything you need for today's lesson, has the info, it has where you need to go. This video doesn't have a ton of info in it. It's actually mostly in this. So are you there? I'm there. Okay, cool. The coronavirus is not the first pandemic that has impacted humans. In order to understand how it affects our society, it helps to look at pandemics in history. So we're going to look at an infographic that combines pictures, data, and a timeline to give us a bunch of information about pandemics throughout history. So go ahead and click this link right here. It's going to take you to this page, the history of pandemics. So I'm going to explain just what you're looking at, and then go ahead and pause and take a few minutes to check it out. So this is a timeline, okay? Here is year 0, which is 2020 years ago. And if we scroll down, we get to today, okay? Each one of these dots represents a different pandemic, a disease that happened all over one country or all over the entire world. As the balls get bigger, that means it was more serious or more people died. Okay, so one of the biggest ones is the bubonic plague, whereas one of the smallest ones is something like SARS, where only 770 people died, whereas HIV/AIDS killed 25 million people, right? So really different amounts, and so we can sort of weigh how serious something was. So go ahead and check these out. See kind of way back in time, what were these plagues like compared to things that we see more recently. If you want to see the most deadly, that starts with the bubonic plague, and then again over time sort of things, this is showing things that were less and less serious. There's some more information here if you want to read in more depth. Talking a little bit about how people used to imagine disease, seeing how infectious or how contagious something is. It kind of helps to understand. You can see this is COVID-19 right here, kind of explaining how contagious it is. All right, so take a second to check through this stuff and just see if anything sticks out to you. What's interesting here? Okay. We're back. So as you can see, going back thousands of years, diseases have happened and caused millions or thousands of people to be ill. We know a little bit about how these diseases affected people because of the artifacts that they left behind. So just choose one of these diseases. You don't have to do all 4. Just choose one. And either you can read a little bit what people wrote during that time. This one, the yellow fever, includes a map and then just a short explanation. And then the one about the Spanish flu is a story of a Native American family and how they survived. And then the HIV/AIDS one is a video of a nurse telling his story about what it was like to treat patients when they first found out about AIDS in the 1980s. Okay? So I want you to check those out because your job today is going to be to create your own artifact. So this could be a photo, a video, a journal entry, or a piece of art. And I want you to do it about you and your perspective on the coronavirus pandemic today. Okay? So it could be anything, but it needs to be related to your personal experience. Okay? You should think of like one main idea that you're trying to show. It could be about school. It could be like, my main idea is about school schedules. My main idea is about my friendships and how they have changed. My main idea might be about how it changed my responsibility at home. I have a bunch of other ideas that I can, if you are stuck, you can like stay with me on the video. And we can go over more ideas. Use your main idea and then zoom in on like 2 little details, okay? And if your artifact is a picture or a photo, I just want you to include a short caption. This could be like 2 sentences, maybe 3 sentences. I'm going to give you just an example here. So my main idea in this is like my school has changed because I have to work from home now. And I'm going to zoom in on a key detail, which is like how that affects my pets, right? Like that's a tiny detail about my life, but it's important. So here's a picture of my cat on my office chair. And it says my caption is just a short explanation that like helps me see what doesn't show in the picture. Okay. So Ms. Daly's cat lays in her home office chair. Pets are getting used to their owners being home all day during the pandemic. So it explains a little bit why I thought that this picture was important. And the last piece of the criteria is to make sure that your writing and your captions use correct spelling and grammar. How are you going to do this? I want you to plan first, as always. So think about a main idea that you want to share. Maybe zoom in on a detail, one or two details that are really important, and then just decide how you're going to do it. Okay? Could be a video, could be a picture, could be a drawing. You could write like you're writing a journal entry, like dear diary. Maybe you wrote an email to a teacher and you want to use that. That would be fine. So how do you upload your document? You are going to upload it just to your Google Drive. Okay. I can show you how to do that super, super quickly. If you know what, I'm gonna put a link in, and you can go to the video to see how to upload that. But very basically, upload it to your Google Drive. When you go to share the document, just copy the link and paste the link in here, right there. Okay. And then if you need to write a caption, just write it. Okay. All of this information is right here in Spanish if you need it. Come check it out. It's all good. And what else? Oh, if you're stuck, if you need more ideas, go ahead and I'll put a link right here. Okay, so if you need more ideas, click the I'm stuck link, and I'm going to give you 2 examples in another video. Okay, awesome.